this computer. Okay, so again, final project due December 7th. The weight of the final project is going to be 20%. We're going to raise the weight of the final project up. The final exam is going to go down to 10%. And then we are going to, and then I plan on, I've already told you what one problem is going to be on the final exam. So there's going to be like at most like 5 problems on the final exam. I plan on doing that on Thursday on next week, going over final problems for the final exam. As far as like exercises though, like anything that has to do with parsing files, that's something I'm a big fan of. So parsing a file, especially, and then as we saw, I like basically saying, hey, can you please create a new file where I've removed personal and confidential information? You know, that's the kind of thing. So expect something along the lines of, here's a file, give me a it's got social security numbers in it. Please remove the social security numbers. Right. And the regular expressions aren't going to be much more complicated than the social security numbers. Right. So you don't need to really have regular expressions mastered for that. It's just, in fact, you don't need regular expressions to do it. It just makes it so much easier to do. Okay. Now with regards to the Runestone Canvas discrepancy, I ran it about a week and a half ago, and then I keep getting students who say, basically, I'm finally caught up in class. Are you going to run it again? And so I keep having students who basically keep informing me that they're finally catching up or caught up on Runestone. So that's why I haven't like migrated it yet, because I just wanted to catch it all at once. So I'll probably do it once before the break and once after break and one last time before classes. Okay. So that's why the Runestone hasn't been updated. So I'm going to run it before the break so that you'll have the chance to review and make sure that everything is okay. When in doubt, I'll believe you, because we have that. Right. No classes are next week. I'll go over protocol for next week, at least with regards to me. So we have but again, the Runestone stuff, if you are behind in it, just finish it up before the last day of class. Okay. Finish it up before December 7th. Because at that point, unless you have a really good reason, such as I got COVID or stuff was crazy at home, then at that point's the hard deadline for basically getting the Runestone stuff in. Correcting errors can be done beyond that. Like if there's an error on my end where I didn't get the grade properly or I graded something wrong, that's fine. We'll address that. That can be addressed at any point. And even when final grades are submitted, it's no problem for me to go back in and change a grade due to a grading error on my part. Okay. So again, so long as you get the Runestone stuff done, it'll get graded. Similarly with demoing, you need to make sure that your stuff gets demoed to your TAs. I do plan on holding my office hours during my regular office hours during the during the fall break. I'll probably I might create some more appointment slots just to make myself more available. But if you need to meet me, just shoot me an email and I'll do my best to meet with you. So I'm available over the break. But in general, most semesters I expect students to work just as much as I do during the break, which is pretty much not at all. So, however, I am aware that you do have a final project. So hopefully you show something that will be fun, and that might be a good chance to get it finished. When we get back, you'll have basically a final like progress report when we get back. And then, so I'll be issuing a final progress report, I think tonight. And then, yeah, when we get back, there's not really too much to do today or tomorrow. Now let's see. Other other questions? Again, the metrics for getting an A on the project this semester are: if it's a game, it's got to keep me amused for a minute. If it's anything else, it's got to keep me amused. It's either it's got to keep me amused for a minute, or be or professionally, or look professional, or solve a pretty good problem. Yes. So those due dates should be tomorrow. But I want to know, how are people doing on the second part of their track? So homepage should have been due last week, and stonk should be done tomorrow. Did I not put those in? Yeah, stonks is killer. Stocks is more difficult. Okay, so this is taking longer than most people. I was worried about that it might take longer. I wasn't sure. Okay, so I wasn't sure how long it would be, how long it would take. It may just be that for this semester, let's see. All right, so let's go ahead and see what's going on here. So in that case, so let's go ahead and basically, all right, using yes, no indicators on the participants buttons, okay? Because I thought the videos were great. Because there were two. All right, using the yes no buttons on the on this. Yes, if these problems are making you tear your hair out, and no if they are not. No, this is a question for everybody. If the second problem is making you tear your hair out. The second problem for your track. Okay. All right. So mildly, yeah, he is so fast. All right. So currently we've got more than half saying that this was a hair pulling problem. All right. So more than half people said this is a hair pulling problem. So I think I'll go ahead and basically say that you can, so let's go ahead and simply say that you have to only turn in one of the track. Okay, one problem from the tracks. So if you've done Pong, you don't need to do Mario. If you've done Pokédex, for all of them. If you've done Pokédex, you have to do one of Pong or Mario, Pokédex 50 grammar notes, or homepage stonks, or homepage or stonks. Pong, not Pog. All right, because again, this was the first semester I was doing it, and you know, if you guys feel like you've learned a lot, then that's great. But still, this doesn't change the fact that I really just do want you to not. I don't want you to be wasting time on this when you have a final project you want to do. I know a lot of you have stuff that you want to do for your final project. Okay. So, but yeah, and for those of you who already finished, I'm sorry that you struggled through it. But I mean, like, these are, is that enough? Yeah. Yeah, you only have to do one of them. I'll probably will be extra credit for people who have done it. Okay. I will probably do that. make it count as an extra. So extra for people who did it. I will simply just, but again, we'll see how that works out in the end. It might just count as an extra assignment overall. So. The way it's going to work is that, and this is going to be a bit of a pain for me, is that for the ones you didn't do, right? So long as you did one of them, the ones you didn't do and all the tracks, you're going to be excused for the other ones. Okay. Okay. All right. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make that an announcement. Okay. CIS. So let's go ahead and do track changes. Okay. Due to the difficulty with the tracks being reported by more than half the class, because I thought this was super ambitious, but I wasn't sure if it was too ambitious or not. Okay, due to the difficulty being reported by more than half the class, on the tracks, only need to do the one problem from the tracks, from your chosen track. The other problem may be done for extra credit, for a full assignment's worth of extra credit. There we go. That should be sent out as an announcement. So now it's official and now I can't take it back. All right. So there you go. So if you need that extra credit, if you're feeling like you need that extra credit, do it. But otherwise, work on that. Ambiguous question. Active learning assignment as opposed to solar exercises. It would be a full assignment, so 100 points. Okay. So let me clear these. So I just put up the final project video. You do not need to do a live demo of your final project. That's a bit ridiculous considering that it's due when classes end. So instead, what you need to do is to record a video of your final project. Okay. No, as I mentioned earlier, I still am waiting with Roomstone to update Canvas because I get a lot of students who are telling me I've just turned something in. So that's probably going to happen tomorrow because I'll do it once before break so you can review your grades once after break and then that. No, you can have it done whenever. You can have it done before the end of the semester for the extra credit. All right. With that being said, since somebody brought up, okay, how do we demo the final project? Let's talk about demoing it or the best way to demo it. I personally am a fan of using OBS to record stuff. You can also record using Zoom, but I find OBS to be easier, right? So if we go to OBS, this is pretty much used by everybody who does streaming. You can download for your system. It's whatchamacallit, open source, and it's multi-platform. Okay. It looks something like this. Here we go. Here's OBS. When you first open it up and install, it looks a bit intimidating, but I swear it's not. you'll get this when you first open it. The auto configuration wizard, just simply hit all optimized for recording. Okay. Over here is basically what you're going to be recording. There's a lot more tutorials on there. Screencast is also good, but I like OBS. It gives you a lot more discrete control. But the way it works is that you create a scene, about not an actual scene, but like a virtual scene. You don't create a ruckus. Okay. And then scenes are made up of sources. So you can take stuff like capture a single window. You can capture you can capture via a webcam, which I can't really do right now because they're 2 minutes ish, right? Because I have to get through a bunch of these, but not so much. There isn't a hard limit, no, but try to aim for 2 minutes, right? Select if you need to like jump between things, you can always pause. When you are recording, you can pause recording so that you can easily cut between things if you need to. So so we go over here, but the easiest way to do this is, first off, it should pick up your mic automatically. Oh, nice. It's actually updated to be to match the hertz of my monitor. Great. Okay. So the big one you're going to want to use is display capture. You'd want to create a new one. I'm just simply going to add existing because I'm already using it. And that simply says to capture display. If it doesn't take up your whole canvas or is too big, you can resize it, right? Or whatnot. And that's just simply saying this is what my I'm going to just capture my display. If you have no, you don't need a separate video from every group member. You all can work on it together, but I think it would be easiest for me if you all submit under your own Dropbox, right? Right. So each of you submitting it. That way we can see who turned in the final project and who didn't. Okay. So, yeah, I'm not sure what the best way to do it is, but like here, it will just simply ask you which one to do. If you have a laptop with both integrated and other graphics cards, you may have to go through some configurations as to which graphics is going to be using OBS. But there's other recording kind of things as well. But you can add and layer this, so it works pretty well. Then to just start recording, you hit start recording. And as you're recording it, you can pause it and it'll pause and then it will instantly cut when you resume. So that's very nice for like trying to load up stuff if you don't want to do any video editing. Stop recording and it will automatically be rendering. If your computer is not able to handle it, there are settings you can change, such as I'm going to trade off my video over here, my CPU, but make the file bigger. But there's a lot of advanced settings. It's fairly straightforward to use though, in general. Okay. Don't just simply take a phone video of your computer screen. That's going to make me very annoyed. Okay. It would be showing off the final project. Showing what you did. So it's a showcase of your final project. Like, this is what I did. Look how cool it is. This is what's fun about it. If it was fun. Other questions? Guarantee you, if you have a question and you're not asking, there's 5 other people. What if you don't like to show off? Then be low key about it. All right. All right. So that's pretty much all I have today. I wanted, if you have individual questions, so because I know that people are, we've only got like half the class here of people registered. So I think people are completely burnt out and checked out right now. It's perfectly all right. I understand that. So if you want to demo something, or if you want to, if you have questions related to your project, you can stay behind, but otherwise class is dismissed. We will make a, yeah. So I will probably have to, by Friday, we should know who the best final projects are of that week. Okay. So before the weekend, so you'll know before the weekend whether or not you have to take the exam the following Tuesday. Okay. I mean, I'll try to do it as quickly as possible, but at the latest, yes, you're demoing your track. You are demoing the assignment that you complete for your track. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So also the big thing is I just don't want to increase your stress. That's a other big reason I canceled that other half or made it optional for extra credit. There's just too much stuff going on for a lot of students I know. All right. So class is dismissed. I will see you after the break. And again, if you want to stay behind to ask me questions or whatnot, feel more than welcome to. Okay. So let's stop recording.